Welcome to Open Vibes with your host, Denmika Eugene. Good evening. Good evening. We are here live with my very special guest, Miss Nina Cobb.
Hi.
Well, welcome to Open Vibes, Miss Cobb.
Thank you.
So we're just gonna have a great time tonight. We're gonna talk a lot about you're running for city council.
Yes.
Very exciting, right here in Killeen, Texas. So we're just gonna jump right into it, Miss Cobb. So who is Nina Cobb?
Nina Cobb is a very simple lady. I love simple things, no complexities. I love for quality life for my family as well as other families to be top notch. I love to see people helping their brothers and their sisters. But most importantly, I just love those persons who are not just full of faith, but those persons to see persons who are full of faith and see them working towards the good of all mankind. So that's a little of who Nina Cobb is. A very simple person who just like good stuff happening.
Yes, this definitely good stuff.
Yes.
So I know we're gonna jump right into where does God fit in everything that Nina has going on?
I'm gonna tell you, he wakes me up in the morning and the sun shines on my face.
Mm.
Anywhere that I've ever lived, my bed has always faced the rising sun. And when
Amen.
I feel that warmth on me, I leave my blinds cracked just a little. You know, peeping Toms would love my bedroom window because they could see everything because I'm waiting for that sun to wake me up. And then at night, he calms the fears that I've had all day. And,
Mm.
and he speaks to me. And you know, this inner conscience that I have, he'll say, Nina, I think tomorrow you need to review some things or look back at what you did for the day. My God is my everything. He
Amen.
walks with me, talks with me, guides me. I mean, that's the first something I feel in the morning. If the sun doesn't shine,
Yeah.
still
Oh,
awake.
wow.
Yeah, I'm still awakened by him. So
Praise God. That is
he's my
beautiful.
that's all I have. That's all I have.
Yes, he is the source. I love it,
Yes.
Nina.
Thank you.
Beautiful. So tell us a little bit about who you are and a little bit about where you were born, raised, in your journey.
Well, I am Nina Cobb. I'm the daughter of David and Lana Williams from out of a little town of Tunica, Mississippi. One brother, one sister. I married in college
Mm.
to my college sweetheart, Caesar, and have three sons. I tell you, the funniest part about me is that I was raised with strict parents. They may not say they were strict, but honey, they were strict. You know, I didn't date in high school. And the
Oh,
biggest joy for us, that I now have that joy, I hated it when I was home.
mhm.
We had farm. We farmed. My parents were educators and teachers. So I had to be, my parents, when you're teachers, you become models to students.
Yes.
And they would always say, well, I'm not going to have my students doing something that you're not going to do. So my dad was an agriculture. So I did horticulture, agriculture. I
Oh,
did
wow.
everything. My mother was a business teacher. So
Yes.
typing, shorthand, public speaking, leadership, I had to compete in so many different things in so many different areas. People laugh. They'll say, you can play the piano. Yeah, I can play the piano. Can you
Wow.
plant? You can plant. Yeah, can you? Can, yes. Because when I was growing up, you had to know a little bit of everything. You had to hem your dresses. And that's who my parents made me into. At the time, I had no idea that one day I would use these skills. I couldn't
Hmm.
understand. I would be so upset. And then the BTU, I don't know, they don't have BTU on Sunday evenings at 6 o'clock in the churches here, but I
Hmm.
had to go to Baptist training. So I had to learn how to do Ursha, how to sing in choirs, how to the Bible, how to treat each other, and what it meant just simply to be kind. You know, some people, they sometimes recognize my simplicity and they'll say, I don't think she can be a leader, but I think
Mm.
I'm the best kind of leader. A leader who loved my brothers and sisters, and a leader who love all mankind, who want to see
Yes.
good things happen. So it's so much, so many sides of growing
Wow.
up as a little country girl with parents who wanted the best for their children.
Excellent. You have so many things to offer, so many skill sets. I mean, that can really be shared. And I do believe that's the best kind of leader, to kind of have compassion towards people and kind to people, and want the best for the whole, the
Yes,
community as a whole. I love that.
yes, thank you.
So let me ask you, what is your favorite thing about Killeen, Texas?
Oh wow. I think my absolute favorite, when you're going towards Florence,
Hmm.
Texas, there's the little welcome to Killeen. In my last campaign, on
Hmm.
my pictures, you saw me sitting on top of this little Killeen, this little land, on
Yes.
top of a sign that says "Welcome to Killeen." That is my favorite place. I am sure one day one of the highway patrolmen or someone is going to say, "Why does that lady sit up there?"
Yeah.
Because when I look, no matter to the north, south, east, or west,
Hmm.
I see a city that 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 inspired me coming here in 1988, and I
Okay.
grew up. This was a young lady who got married at 21 years old, who had
Hmm.
never had any experiences. So when I'm sitting up there, I see everything.
Wow.
I see where we can grow.
Hmm.
I see where we're not growing.
Hmm.
I love that. That's my favorite something. When that one little spot. And then
That's
my next favorite
mhm.
something, and you're gonna think this is the craziest something, but Chevron Mickey's on
Okay.
Spanish Shooter, they make the best fried chicken in the mornings. That's right. So
I hear they have the best gizzards. I don't eat gizzards, but
yes,
rave about them.
yes, I love their hot and spicy gizzards too. I
Love
love
them.
going. You know what? I had to stop going that route because I was getting too big.
Shout
So
out
I
to
cut
Chevron.
down. It's like a once a month treat now. They know
Yes,
it was so terribly that one of the ladies of my church would stop by and she would buy me a week's worth of chicken so I could have chicken every morning. And
every
she
morning.
every morning 3 wings and a potato log.
What a blessing.
That's it. But those are my favorite things. They're good people, you know?
Yes, yes. Shout
Yeah.
out to Chevron, Mickey
Yeah.
Chevron.
Woo-hoo.
Miss Charlotte Holcomb says, beautiful share. Thank you, Charlotte.
Thank you.
Nina is really awesome. I'm
Thank you.
telling you. I've known Nina for a while, and
Yeah.
every encounter has been beautiful.
Thank you.
So, so Nina, let's talk about your platform.
Okay.
What is your platform? What are your ideas and your vision for walking into city council, creating? What's your platform?
I think before I just start my platform is teamwork. I'm
Okay.
a team player. And I
Yes.
believe that we look at things as a team. There will be
Hmm.
disagreements, but on
Yeah.
the end of the day, we can sit down and have dinner together because we're all for the good of the city. My
That's it.
platform starts off with infrastructure. I think we're hearing it. We just last week they put more money into the budget so that we can fix our roads. I think that's pretty simple. I think you start with the worst road and you work down to the least work road. Again, I'm a very simple person. Downtown, our to revive our downtown area. I think
Hmm.
that's an excellent area for people to come. Just recently at my meet and greet, we went to Make Rooms and Designs right
Nice.
there at 4th 15th, right across from the post office downtown. And it was such a pleasant experience.
Oh.
Persons stopping by and seeing people walk down the street and to
Mhm.
see the history and culture. And just imagine if there were live bands downtown on a Friday
Oh,
after
how nice
work.
that would be. Yes.
Imagine sitting on the sidewalks. Yes, there are some things that we have to do. Of course, we have our homeless rate. We've got to
Mhm.
figure out a plan that works. And it
Yes.
takes time. It's not something that you can go down and just erase or get rid of everyone. It doesn't
Mhm.
work that easily. It doesn't, because there's a lot of mental health that we have to work with. And throughout this platform, whether it's infrastructure, whether it's crime, whether it's healthcare, first responders, or support, all of those things are on my platform. We've got to have some mental health and some behavior training going on. You know,
Definitely.
it's easy as a one of the public health nurses, the outreach educator. I
Yes.
notice so much mental health within our youth when we're talking about different subjects. Look at our youth. That's a
Mhm.
platform issue. And I hate to consider those things that are so personal to me as a
Mhm.
platform,
Yes.
because it's
Yeah.
not a platform for me. It is my daily walk every day.
That's it.
So the things that people see as platforms is a
Mhm.
walk. Every day I work with first responders. I'm a first responder myself, I know. But
Definitely.
it's important when you see firemen that are working 24/7 to put out fires, to
Mhm.
do some extra time to help meet the needs of their family. Come
Yes.
on.
Definitely.
We've got to compensate our firemen and our police officers just a little bit better.
Yes.
And they have to have the proper training.
Definitely, definitely. I wanted to highlight the point that usually I do my shows on Tuesday evenings,
Yes.
but I could not do it for this one. We moved it to tonight.
Yes.
Nina is actually working at the COVID testing site, correct?
We're at the COVID centers for COVID vaccinations. And
For the
that's a,
vaccination. Okay.
yes, we're vaccinating persons for COVID. Our first doses and second doses, we've been doing that since mid-January. And I tell you, I've seen a lot of good people come through those doors. And I've
Yeah.
heard a lot of sad stories why people are coming through those doors. And
Mhm.
then my heart goes out because we can't get everybody in one day.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
cannot imagine the turmoil that Peter Perez or Joe or the firemen and persons within that building, how we feel in reference to not getting everyone in. That there
Money.
are so many rules or so many COVID vaccination or so many vaccinators. It
Yeah.
just takes a lot. So yes, I have. It's been a joy, and it's been some 10 to 15 hour days for me.
Hmm. Definitely.
But I
Definitely.
wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade it.
Excellent. So we do definitely appreciate everyone who's out there, really,
Yes,
helping and supporting the people in the community, vaccinating them, because that's a job within itself.
it is.
Definitely. It really is. So that's why we decided let's move it to Monday because that's definitely worth it. And, being flexible. So I do appreciate that. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you.
And thank you for moving it to today,
Oh,
because I
you
wanted to come on. I did. I did. I
you are
wanted
very
people, you know
welcome.
what? People see you on posters, they read about you, but they don't get to know you.
Hmm.
And I think that is just so important that people get to know me, that I'm
That's,
not just the outreach nurse, or I'm not just the deaconess in church. I'm not just Daryl, Dan, and David's mom. I,
that's it.
I am Nina Cobb, and I am faithful to those things that are important to me. And
Yeah.
I sometimes don't think people know how faithful. Yes, I'm a very simple lady, and I don't
Mhm.
make a lot of noise about stuff, but I promise you, I will work towards getting it done.
Yes, you
And
will.
that's
I've
just,
known
I'm
you for
faithful
quite
to
a
the family.
while. I've known you for a while, and you are definitely a woman of your word. So that
Yes.
I do value and I appreciate. And that's why I'm like, no, we're gonna do this and
Yes.
and push this forward because you definitely deserve the support of the community and the
Thank you.
people. You
Thank you.
definitely deserve that.
Thank
So let me ask you about downtown. So what do you think about our downtown? Is it healthy? Is it successful right now, or what can we do to make it successful?
I think that right now with downtown, people are working with what they have in their hands.
Okay.
And my grandmother used to say, whatever you have in your hands, that's all you can work with. There's a lot of there's a lot of buildings that would have to be worked on. There's
Okay.
a lot of infrastructures that would have to be worked on. It will cost.
Hmm.
But at the same time, we've got to put a little more incentives in there so person can come downtown. There are some
Definitely.
incentive programs. I'm telling you, our economic development team and Mr.
Mhm,
Crutchfield, they do an excellent job.
mhm,
Everything that you see, it's not always what you see. People are
mhm,
working and trying to get things done. I'm gonna tell you, there was a question that was asked of me about transparency. You can't
mhm.
tell everything that you're trying to do because you know someone to come and steal it from right under you.
That they
I don't
will.
think people. I don't think sometimes that people understand when you start talking about everything, you will lose it before you know it.
My
I think
grandmother
there
used
are
to
some
say, "You can see my hand, but you don't know how to play it." They'll
yeah,
come take it, but it'll be a counterfeit.
exactly. So sometimes we have to be patient.
Yes,
Everyone wants to see some type development. They want to
that's
see some project downtown. They want to see some gains also. So I do
mhm,
understand that. I think that right now that it's at a moderate level.
okay. Okay.
And I think we can be striving to be so much better. We can.
So,
And I think it's going to take, I think it's going to take more than those persons in government. I think that people with dreams
mhm, mhm,
can bring their dreams to the table. And we look at some things and how we can better help those persons with those dreams to make our downtown ventures better.
yes,
I,
yes.
I, I just think it takes the ideas of so many.
Yeah, it does. I was and I can recall in 2017, and I had an idea of maybe the contractors,
Mm,
getting the people in the communities,
hmm.
teaching them a trade, teaching them a skill, and having the people in the community, our homeless people, for example, who are maybe looking to grow, teach them that trade, have them work on rebuilding downtown, and then they can be proud of it. And
Hmm.
they will take better care of it because everybody had a part to play, and
Yeah,
people was reaching back, helping them grow. So, I
yeah,
mean, I don't know. I think it's just plenty of ideas there that
yeah,
we can really, as a whole, make happen. Because downtown we have a nice downtown.
yes.
We
But
really do.
But with those ideas, there comes money. So
It
we
does.
got to make sure that the distribution in our budgets and working with Mr. Cagle, who's a super guy to work with, and
Hmm.
looking at our economic development teams and working with them, and then working with our community, and
Yes.
everyone having the same idea. You know,
Yes.
that's really important that everyone is on the riding on the same train,
That's it.
and it has to be growth
Hmm.
redevelopment. You can't have the conductor driving the train and he's thinking about midnight madness and maybe having basketball games. And then
Hmm.
you have the passengers, one thinking about clubs, one's thinking about stores, one's thinking about museums. We have to be on the same growth pattern. Yes, the many ideas, but we have to have one foundation and understanding that the reallocation of funding and making those incentives for persons to want to put their business down there. And there's
Hmm.
quite a few incentives down there also, because
Yes.
even with some of the buildings, if you're on the historic side, they
Hmm.
offer some breaks also. So I
That,
think it's just making people aware,
yes. That
aware,
incentives are available.
yes, that these places are available. And then it takes us going into those places and making it work.
Definitely.
And
Definitely.
something that I always like to also tell people,
Hmm.
it may be kind of expensive for you because when you're starting, those business owners, they need money to help grow. So
Yes.
yes, maybe you can go to the mall and get a sandwich for $4 or $3, and when you come to my shop you got to pay 7, 8, 9 or $10. But you got to understand the development and the growth of that business and having those customers to continue to come. So
Yes.
we can't get leery in doing well for those persons who may have to be a little pricey because they're going into a different area. It's going to cost more in the beginning also. So we have to look at the cost effectiveness of businesses being there also.
Definitely. Nice. So, Miss Nina, how do you feel about transportation options in our city?
Oh my goodness.
Do we have enough available?
We we don't have enough available. And I
Mhm.
think that's just an ongoing discussion in reference to. We have the hop. I think they added more scheduling times. We
Okay.
now have Uber, Lyfts. We don't have a transit city, a transit transportation.
Yes.
Only the hop. And I think we have to look more to more transit where we're not using Ubers and Lyft. Well, we want to use those Ubers and Lyft. I don't want to take anyone's business away from them, but
Mm-hmm.
something that's more stabilized or maybe increasing the bus. But again, we start looking at the economic cost of having those things and raising the price. And would it be affordable for people? That's when you have to ask your community and those persons to come out and say, I'm willing to pay $5
Okay.
if we can get more routes
Mm-hmm.
and see how it works. Talk is cheap. I'm gonna tell you, my mother and father always told me talk is so cheap, and I can sit here all night long and answer your questions to the best of my ability, not looking at the paperwork, not looking at the budget, and
Mm-hmm.
try to give the best answers to satisfy people. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you something. Until you get into a situation and you're working with that budget and you see what's in your hand,
It's
that's
limited.
the only that's
Yes.
the only time that you can give decent answers that's going to
Mhm.
fit.
That's
Right now,
right.
I can look at things, I can read. I'm not getting all of the pictures of just a candidate. I
Yes.
haven't dug deep into what other sources and what mechanisms that we have. And that's
That's
the reason why I have to always tell people you got to trust this simple person. That was not the right answer. I probably should not have given to that question about talk being cheap, but I am a woman of action. And until I can see where we can go with things and
hmm
help with the other team members and devise plans, I've got to go on what I think we can do. And
that's
I
it.
think that we can be better in transportation, better with our downtown, just better in our kindness and compassion towards people. And you said that word earlier about compassionate. I'm on a
Mhm.
roll now because let me tell you something.
All right.
I just got so upset just recently. I work all day, 10 and 14
Uh-huh.
hour shifts. And I see people of all nationalities coming to that
hmm
to that Killeen hub. And I came home on the end of my day, got my little onion bagel because I didn't have any food in the house. I sat down. I want you to imagine this. And I
hmm
sit down with this cup of water.
hmm
I always drink water because I don't sometimes drink enough during the day.
hmm
I turn on my television and I see an African American legislator knocking on a door to enter to see what was going on because rightfully she could be in that room.
hmm
I then saw her handcuffed because she was asked several times to stop knocking on that door
Oh,
and taken away to jail. This was in the Georgia state. At that moment, it just hit me in my gut. We have no compassion for each other. What happened to the compassionate? We get aggravated by so much. I do too.
hmm
It's just
hmm
it's not about the color of our skin, as Dr. King said. It's about the content of our character.
That's it.
What happened to the compassion of just saying, "Ma'am, I've asked you to stop knocking on this door. Let me
hmm
just take you over to this room. I want you to sit right here. I'm going to go into this room and I'm going to see if you can have entry into the room." Right now, we've got to have a little more compassionate.
That's it.
We've got to teach, and that's where I'm going with mental health and behavior. We've got
hmm
to have some more compassion in our day-to-day activities. We got to be honest and just and fair and treat people the way we want to. I believe that the situation that we saw would not have been that situation if someone would have just stopped and had a little compassion.
Some compassion.
We can do our jobs every day. I do a
Yes.
job every day. But at some point, we have to have compassion for all mankind, not a specific segment, not a particular neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
because there are struggles and there's things going on everywhere. What
Yes.
happened to compassion and our professionalism? You can say
hmm
no.
It's okay to say
It's
no.
okay.
Yes.
You can repeat yourself several times. We've got to learn that I can repeat myself 50, 60 times and never lose my cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the compassion is, I think, is what's missing in our leadership, and I hope that people know my compassion and feel my compassion for others, that we're going to stop, we're going to think
Mm-hmm.
as well as do right by everyone.
Yes.
So I know
Definitely.
I went out on a tangent, but
No, it's
every
okay.
because
That
when I
is.
think about compassion and leadership and leading people,
Mhm.
I think about following the rules and following those things that are set forth. And sometimes you're not going to be able to.
Mhm.
Sometimes you're going to be outvoted as one person,
Yeah.
and your thoughts won't matter when you're
Mhm.
outvoted. But it still doesn't stop from making the delivery the right way and not
Exactly.
angry and not just, oh man,
Mhm.
we gotta do better by each other.
We
We can
really
do
do.
one. Yeah.
Yes, you are exactly right.
Yes.
You are exactly right. So I see the population in Killeen is increasing.
Yes.
I believe it's amongst the top 10 cities to live in Texas.
Yes, it is.
So with the population increase, has there been any talk or chatter more so recently about bringing in some type of industry into this area?
What my information is probably about as best as yours, but I have talked to people in
Yeah.
reference to what are we going to do in building industries. And you do see the economic development team. I did take a moment to speak to have an understanding. They are
Okay.
working on developments, but once again, if they're transparent and tell you everything about
Hmm.
it, they can lose some things too. So I
Okay.
do think there's going to be industries, and we already know the chatter about moving south. There's
Okay.
so much land over towards our University of Central Texas and the land spots there, and
Yeah.
building and making it not only a college area but area for families. So
Hmm.
yes, there is a lot of chatter, and we
Yes.
even
And
see
I
buildings
see the
going
high
up.
school is being built. I saw that. The
Yes,
new high school. Yes. So
around the
that's
corner from me.
exciting.
Yeah,
Wow. Do you know how many students that'll house or no? Not yet.
I do not know the population, how many they will house. No, but
Okay.
if
But it,
they're,
no,
it's
go ahead.
supposedly equaling up to the Ellison
Mhm. Okay.
standards and Killeen High, and that's what 3,000 students or more.
Yes. Because their
So
hallways are flooded. They're crowded. So the new high school is very much welcome. So
yes, it
kudos
is.
to me. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yes.
It is. So who inspire you, Nina? Who or
You
what
know,
inspires you?
that's a two-part question. I always will tell you that my parents will inspire me.
Beautiful.
They've taught me to never back down
That's it.
when you know you're right.
Hmm.
When you have your facts, never fear being honest. Never fear being who you are.
Hmm.
And then I know a lot of people always say this person, but Dr. King, when I go back and I listen to the stories and I see the things for all mankind, and when I think the famous moment for me is when he said, "Let no man pull you down low enough to hate another man."
Amen.
And that has stuck with me
Hmm.
forever and ever and ever, that you never quit. When you really want something, you work towards it.
That's it.
Sometimes you make bad decisions. Your consequences will outweigh those decisions, and you got to walk in it. You
Hmm.
got to get down in the mud sometimes with that decision and figure out how you're going to get up and make it better. I would say my parents and Dr. King.
Definitely. I definitely know with the heart that you have, the spirit that you have, the quality of leadership you have, you would be a great leader in for city council. I know that for a fact.
Thank you.
So what makes you feel great about yourself?
I'm faithful.
Amen.
I am faithful. And I have tried to stop being so faithful. I am faithful to people. I
To,
cannot, I
to a
cannot, I,
fault.
huh?
Is it to a fault, Nina?
It's to a fault. I am
Oh,
so faithful. If I say that you're my friend, you better
yes,
trust and believe you're my friend. If
yes.
I tell you I'm going to try and do something, I am going to, I'm going to hold up the bloodstained banner almost trying to get it done. It's going to be
I
hard.
love it.
I sometimes find myself exhausted on the end of the day because
Mhm,
I am faithful. I am faithful to those things that I say. That's why I always say, talk is cheap. If
mhm.
I didn't do it, then that's when we got an issue.
Yes.
We can talk all day, but am I a woman of actions? And that's
Wow.
what I've always tried to be faithful to what I tell you that I'm going to do for you. So that's
Mhm,
my, I think that's Nina, and that's my downfall at the same time.
mhm.
So it's
You have
just
to
being faithful.
balance it. I
Yes, I can stay so focused till I get what I want, and then I'll go back and I say, "Oh my God, I didn't
Mhm,
even go and do this or that for myself
mhm.
because I was so faithful to trying to make sure that everybody else was okay. You forget
That's
about
a
yourself."
beautiful thing.
Yeah,
Beautiful thing.
yeah.
So, why city council?
I've been here since 1988. Of course, we moved and went to duty stations and came right back. And
Mhm.
I've raised my children in this area. The boys got a chance to work with Yak and work with other council members who were there. And
Nice.
we've had different mayors and different persons who were here. What inspires me is that persons look to that city council and they look for those persons that are leading to do
Yes.
what's right by them, to give them. I'm inspired to be on the city council because I want young men and especially young ladies to know that you can make a difference.
That's it.
It may not be major big differences, but you can run, you can get elected, and you can work really hard. And it
Yes.
doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter the color of your skin, it matters your content of your character, that you work and you be focused. And if you only accomplish one something, then you too have succeeded. And that council means a lot to the city. And no matter if you're in the north, the south,
Mhm.
the east, and the west, those are voices of people within your city.
Yes.
And I don't know sometimes if we're listening or not listening, but I want to listen. I want people to be happy with their city. I want people to think that they have persons who represent them, who's working towards good things for them.
Yes.
Again,
In their favor. Think I think one thing, and this is, in retrospect, looking back over the years, one thing that I know that people in the community, and not just Killeen, and this is on a local level, what they fail
mhm,
to realize about city council, the city council makes all the decisions for everything in your community. They
yes,
have weekly, monthly city council meetings that
mhm,
the city you can go attend these meetings. Not
yes,
only do they make the decisions, the ordinances, anything you ever complained about in your city, the city council are making those decisions, and you can be a part of who's making those decisions for you. It's so
yes,
much that as a community we can contribute
yes.
to our city council. So your vote matters,
It
and
does.
because what ends up happening is I think our community between Cove and Temple is a roughly 300,000 people.
Yes.
Okay, so what ends up happening, and then Killeen is like 145.
Hmm.
Only about 5,000 people get out to vote for
That's right.
city council elections. And we leave all of that on the table for those 5,000 people to have a voice when it's 145,000 of us.
That's right.
We really need to get out and vote for our city councilmen. I'm going to post it as soon as we're done. I'm going to put it up on my page, the time of the date of the elections, and
Yes.
how we can make sure that they're registered to vote as well.
That's
But
so
let's,
important. Yes.
mhm,
Thank you.
you are welcome. So, Nina, how do you want to make other people feel?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. You know what? I don't think I've ever, I want people to feel good about their city. That's, that's the goal.
Yeah.
However, as far as the way that I want people to feel, I want people to be themselves. If you like what I say, okay, you like it. If you don't like what I say, then tell me why you don't like it. I want you to be comfortable, but most importantly, what my parents have always told me, be an advocate for yourself.
That's
I
it.
need everyone to be an advocate for themselves and for
Mhm.
their thoughts and how they feel and their wants. Not for anyone else, but be an advocate. And I hope that you would feel that you could come, that, hey, I can talk to Mrs. Cobb. You don't have to be degree down to talk to
That-
me.
That's
You
it.
can come as a child and speak to me, and just tell me what you want. What's the desire of your heart?
Mhm.
That's something, I got this from a lady, Valerie Rice. She said, what did you do good today?
That's it. That's
What
it.
do what do you do good every day?
Mhm.
And so I want people to be able to come up to me and say, well, Miss Carl, what did you do good today? Did
Mm.
you see this? Did you know this? You know that the members of this community are the eyes and ears of council men and women?
Yes.
Yes, we may be your voice, but you are the eyes, you are the ears, you are the roadmaps. You tell us things that are going on in your communities. You let us know. Do you know we can't travel down? A person can't travel down every road in Killeen. We don't know what the night activity may be in your community.
Yeah.
There are programs that we need people to join to make their voices heard.
Yes.
I'm a good listener. And I think that when a person would come to me, that I would listen
Mhm.
and I could take back the
That's
desires and to help calm some fears at the same time.
nice. I absolutely love it. What did you do good today? Catherine says that's a great question. So it's been times where, and I really want to drive this home to the community. It's been times where I've gotten out, I've walked door to door, I've
Yeah.
talked to my neighbors, and I asked them about doing a neighborhood watch.
Yes.
And a lot of my neighbors were kind of reluctant because I guess I'm just a regular average person walking around talking to them, and they were just kind of reluctant. But when you have your city councilman, they can come in and they can set up meetings, and then you can have them, invite the neighborhood out. So they'll do some form of leadership.
Yes.
And I really want people to catch this because it's imperative that Killeen get out and vote, because you guys, we don't vote. And I think last year was pretty bad in the polls, the numbers for us as the community.
Right. You know, I think that well, if you looked at that race, we had some pretty decent numbers, but it wasn't everyone. And
Mhm.
it was a presidential race. So
That's
normally the numbers are greater. The
okay.
numbers
And maybe
that,
it was the
that
year
are,
before. It could have been
yes,
2019. Yes.
yeah. The numbers that we will see normally when I looked at past numbers for our
Mhm.
May 1st elections and our
Yes.
early voting, that's when we have a lower turnout because most persons, they're not really concerned. Oh, they're not going to help me. Oh, what does my vote matter? Oh, they're going to do what they want to do anyway. We've got to stop that. We got to stop having that mindset and
Yeah.
start thinking positive and say, hey, I spoke to him or her
Yes.
and they stated that they would listen. They're going to have monthly forums. They're going
Mhm.
to have where you can email a letter and they're going to take our letters under consideration.
That's it.
You know, it's again, talk is cheap. If you're not in the midst and you're working in those offices and those we got to trust our city staff. We hire people to do the job.
Yes.
So we've got to believe in the people that we've hired in this city also to do the
Mhm.
job. I can't I can't degrade a person or people in departments who are working by asking them questions that have no way to go. Why would I ask a person who's an engineer
Mhm.
what are you using every day? Is that high? I would hope that you know. And when you don't know, or if you fellas, then we need to have that conversation. We've got to
Definitely.
give people a chance. We're spending too much time and we hire people to do a job. We got to give them leeway to do the job. And if they don't meet that job, then we've got to do something totally different. But in the
Definitely.
meantime, let's work with our staff and our city and with our neighbors and our people. That's the
Yeah.
hardest something is to have a job and you're trying to do it and everybody's nitpicking you. You never get the job done because you're looking for answers for the questions.
Yes, definitely.
I know that because I'm telling you, that's yes.
Hmm. I understand it all too well. I really do.
Yes.
So, why does the world, and I say the world because it's impactful, when one person impacts one area, it impacts the world. Why does the world need the gifts that you bring?
I didn't hear your last part.
Yeah, why does the world need the gifts that you bring?
Oh my. You know what? I am such an imperfect person.
Hmm.
I am so imperfect. But I love people and I want to see them doing good. And I think the world should have I have compassion.
Hmm.
I have compassion to the fault of knowing that I've got to sometimes not have as much compassion. But
Hmm.
I have the willingness to work for not just myself or my family, but
Hmm.
everyone. I
Yes.
think we need to have, I'm not sure. Are you familiar with the show? It just hit me. 227. It's
Yes.
Florence. Florence used to sit in that window
Yes.
and she could
Pearl.
tell you,
Yes.
yeah, Pearl. She could sit in that window and she could
Hmm.
tell you everything that was going on in that neighborhood.
Hmm.
But the thing about it was she had a little love in her heart because when she told you those things, she was willing to put on talent shows.
Hmm.
She was willing to give coats, have people bring coats. She
Yes,
was
she was.
willing to work
Mhm.
incognito to make sure that the greater good for others was kept. I
That's
think
it.
I'm willing, without anyone ever saying my name, to work towards the greater good.
Amen.
So I think that's what I think that's the gift, the gifts that I could just ball them up and no one
Mm,
even have to know I did it. I don't even
that's
care about all that. I don't need status.
hmm.
Let me that's something
It's
that
good.
status is not that it's not impressive to me.
Hmm.
Your work and who you are and what you do is status for me. There are
Yes.
persons who will not run for city council have just as much status, the way that they walk and they take care of things, or maybe
Hmm.
one day feed the hungry, or go
That's it.
over to and spend their day volunteering, a retired nurse who come and stay to make sure that people are receiving their COVID vaccinations.
Hmm.
There are people with status who will never serve on the city council, but their good works are
Hmm.
throughout this community.
Amen.
That's what's important to me. That's
Hmm.
so important. So I always want to make sure that I know I'm very simple. I'm a country girl. I'm a country girl from Mississippi. My mother and father told me if you do good, good will come unto you.
Yes.
So, and that's what I see in everything. I always think twice. And when I make a bad choice,
Hmm.
my conscience, I have a conscience that will say, you know what, Nina? Now you know better. Go
Yes.
back and read those papers. Go back and see if you could have made it better. Why did you keep walking, Nina? Go back and see. You know how you pass someone on the street, and you know
Hmm.
how people say, "Stop giving the homeless people money. Stop giving people money when you pass them."
No.
You know, my conscience won't let me do that.
Bless. That's it.
I will stop and say, "Well," and I'll turn all the way back around and say, "Here, this is all I got on me."
Hmm.
I just think that we've got to this society, this America, we've got to have a conscience. We got to have a conscience.
Definitely. Definitely. Excellent, Nina. I just absolutely love it. So, what do you want more of in life?
I think I want more time. I don't have 24 hours is
It's just not enough.
I ain't sleeping at night. I got my CPAP machine. I take a I got Benadryl. I take a Benadryl every once in a while. I'm not
Hmm.
sleeping. Seem like I hope it's a whole lot of people not sleeping with me because it seems like it's just so much to do.
It's so much to
and
do.
and not enough people trying to do it. Again,
Mhm.
you don't need status to do stuff. You just gotta have the willpower, the will do. And and people find themselves, they'll come to the same person every time, over and over and over again. And then
Mhm.
we find ourselves worn out. I
Worn
need
out.
some more hours. I was so glad to get daylight saving time
I
because
know.
it makes you seem like you got more hours. The day the sun is up. I just need more hours in the day. I do. There is so much that this world offers. Oh my
Mhm.
God. I wish I
Mhm.
could just ask the good Lord every day, can you just give me something? Can I have some more? It's so much, vacation people.
Yes.
So many. Oh my God. Yeah.
Wow. So what do you secretly love about Nina?
Oh my God. I'm a feisty little woman.
I love it.
I I know how to have a good time.
Yes.
That's the side that people don't see.
Uh-huh.
And and again, oh yeah, I'm feisty. I just can't tell you how feisty I am. But I enjoy life. And
Nice.
again, I'm feisty. I just can't even tell you some of the things,
That's
motorcycle
good.
riding, sports
Hey,
cars. Yeah,
nice.
yes. I love mini skirts and boots. I
Okay.
love, yes, I do. I love Lay's potato chips and barbecue sandwiches.
Oh wow, you stole my question. I had a question of
Oh,
tell me
okay.
three
What's the
things
question?
nobody knows about you, but you already answered it. I love it.
Yeah, I'm scared. I don't swim. I'm scared of water, but I want to go on a cruise.
Okay,
Oh,
go on a
I want to
cruise.
go on a cruise.
Maybe not right now, but go on a cruise.
Yeah,
You'll love it. I can't swim either, and I've been on a couple, and I really loved it.
I want to zip line through Las Vegas too.
I did
That
that too. You
you
gotta
did
do that.
it?
Yes, you
Oh
have to
my
do that.
God! Yes. How was that?
It was exhilarating. I mean, and we
Yes.
were laying flat. So,
Yes.
whew, yes,
Yes.
you have to do it. Do
Yes.
everything that is in your heart to do.
Yes.
That's at this point, I said that's how I'm living. I'm gonna do everything that God gives me to do and everything that's in my heart to do.
Yes. I believe that when you work hard, you
Yeah,
deserve to play hard.
definitely.
And
That's it.
some people will say, "Man, I cannot believe." People put you on a pedestal. You don't
Hmm.
put yourself on a pedestal. You're just as human and imperfect as the next man. You just want good things to happen and a better quality of life for not just yourself, but for everyone. Because when everyone is happy,
Hmm.
the world is a better place. Our
Amen.
everything is good when it's going good. When it's
Yes.
good, it's good. I'm telling you now.
Hmm.
I I just want everything to go good. My grandchildren are here and
I love
family.
it. So,
Yeah,
how many grandchildren?
I have four, two
Four.
girls and two boys.
Oh wow, I love it. So you got your girls. You
Got my
got
girls.
your girls.
I got
Nice.
my girls. My girls don't even have time to spend with me, however, because they have their moms and their moms are enjoying that time. So I have to
Okay,
kind of like barge in and make my
that's
way.
all right. You got to take it when you can get it, but you
Yes,
got girls.
yes,
If you had to
yes.
write a book, Miss Nina, what would you write it about?
Life, my
Life.
life.
Yes.
There are things that you don't see, that you don't know, that
Hmm.
people will never share about my experiences along my way,
Hmm.
about family, about friends, about despair, about hurt. There are some places that are real low that you sometimes get to see that
Yeah.
people will never see in you, but it becomes a part of you that you want to make real high. I just wish that people, everyone has a story
Hmm.
and everyone think their story is the best story it is in the world. It's a grand story, but you don't know a person until you know that story. And so I think that would be so important. There are so many things that people don't know. They
Hmm.
they would be so totally surprised. So
Wow.
surprised.
Yeah, you have a very meek demeanor, and I've been told that too. But they don't understand under this meekness. We real people, and we real
Yes,
feelings, real
yes,
thoughts,
yes.
and the meekness is just the abundance of love that we have towards people. That's what it is.
And the abundance of love that people give to me.
Yes.
You can't imagine. Sometimes, they say that when you ask God for the desires of his heart, that he would give it to you. Well,
Yeah,
it comes in people sometimes.
it does.
You'll be surprised, just like with campaigning and with going places, the safety of
Mhm.
others, people looking out for you, people campaigning for you, and you don't even know they're campaigning for you.
Yes, ma'am.
People who are praying for your covering. It,
Hmm.
I tell you, I'm telling you, Killeen has some good people.
Yes, it
Good
does.
people.
It does.
They do.
I've been in Killeen for 19 years and I have met some of the best people.
Yes.
The best
Yes.
people. Yes.
Yes. So I just want to give back a little. I've been
Yeah.
given so much. I mean, to to when much is given,
Much is required.
much is
That's it.
required. Yes. I've been given a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Praise God. That's a blessing. That's a beautiful thing to be able to say, and to recognize it.
Oh yes.
So complete this sentence for me, Miss Nina.
Okay.
Anything other than your job title. Okay.
Hmm.
I am a what?
A faithful friend.
Love it. Love it.
Man.
So, what are you most grateful for?
For family, for life, for being able to see the sun rise in the morning, for listening to my neighbors' roosters that get me up when I don't want to get up, for failures and understanding that those failures are the paths to your successes, for friends. Oh my God, for there's so much, for making sometimes even bad decisions that help
Mhm.
me now see that those bad decisions led to where you are.
That's good.
There's so much, for having those friends. You know how they say that people are and things that occur only for a season, for being
Mhm.
blessed with so many seasons.
Oh, praise God.
I've had so many seasons, good
Mhm.
and bad ones. There are some seasons that I want to go back and get and say,
Mhm.
can I do this better? There are so many things that I just want to say, I can do this better. I made a mistake. I didn't mean to answer like this.
Mhm.
This is
Mhm.
the answer to the question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's from the many seasons. Yeah.
I love that. Wow. So before we close out, and I'm gonna have you close out with
Okay.
something you want to leave the people with, but I will say this: I definitely endorse you. I support you.
Thank you.
I encourage you. Your campaign, you're gonna do awesome as a city councilwoman. District 3, correct?
District 3. Yes. Come on,
District
guys. Come
3. Come
out.
on, District 3. I need y'all to get out there and I need you to vote for Miss Nina Cobb because she's an awesome spirit. She's a leader, teamwork. So you guys will be working together hand in hand and hear her heart, hear her thoughts and her vision for what she wants to do for the city. So, all right. So what do you want to leave the people with?
I just would like to say that I hope everyone go out and vote and that you choose me. And when you choose me, you get a real true person here. You get a person who's had faults, you successes, you have many paths I've traveled, but a person who's committed to this city, a city who has helped her grow from a young lady into a woman. You get a woman of character. When people go low, just like Michelle Obama says, I will go high.
Amen.
I am full of intent and I'm faithful. I think that's the one something that I stand on. I am faithful to the game. I'm faithful to the task at hand. I'm faithful to the persons who come to me, and I'll do my best. I'll always do my best. I have a slogan that I've said to my children all their life. Matter of speaking is on the mirror of my bedroom. On the mirror it says, "Work will win when wishing won't." You got a woman who will work. I will work and I will toil with you. I don't need status. I don't need a name. I need people who will work with just plain old Nina to get the job done. I'm plain old Nina, and I want to help get the job done. To work as a team member, to work as a part of this city, as a mom, as a Christian, as an imperfect person, a person who's a first responder. I have felt the woes and discomforts of being in the city and working in the public. I think that I'm the lady. I think this is the right time, the right place, the right season. And with me, I would be the right person. There's so many things, you have to love yourself. And when you don't show love for yourself, then you can't show love for a city. I've been through a lot in this city. I've seen a lot. I've endured a lot. And I know where to go to get the job done. And I think that it starts with me. I think change starts with me. I want to be that effective change that will enlighten families and give better quality of life in Killeen. So that's a whole lot of stuff. Like I've always told you, talk is cheap, but watch me roar. Watch me work.
Amen. All right, get out and vote, you guys. Thank you so much for being here, Miss Nina. I
Thank
appreciate your
you.
time because it's valuable.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
All
Thank you. Thank
right, guys. I'll see you next week on Open Vibes. Have a great evening.
you. Good evening. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.